Hi, I'm Maggie Weldon from maggiescrochet.com, and this Midnight Snowballs hat and scarf set is sponsored by Premier Yarns. Deborah Norville Serenity Chunky yarn comes in 50 plus colors, and it also comes in different textures and like this glitter yarn, and that's what was used here for this project. So, but the yarns are interchangeable because they're the same bulky number 5 weight. And the yarn is super easy to care for, and it's very soft, so it's great for baby projects or afghans or accessories like you see here. So this warm and cozy set is actually done with the Catherine wheel stitch, which is very popular stitch, and I love the way the blue and white make like a little snowball effect around this project. So I'll be doing a separate video, one for the scarf and one for the hat. So make sure that you watch each one. And the skill level for this set is easy, I would say leaning towards intermediate actually. And the yarn that we used for this was Moody Midnight for the blue and Silver Shine for the white. And we also used a faux fur pom-pom. And these are available in large sizes, small sizes, and a lot of different colors. And the links to everything will be listed below. And the crochet hook that you'll need for this project is an L, number 11. It's an 8mm, or whatever size you need to obtain your gauge. So let's get started on this project and make sure that you see all the links below to all the products. So here's a close-up of the Midnight Snowball scarf, and there's also a matching hat that's available in another video, and there'll be a link posted below for the hat. And this is actually a version of the Catherine wheel stitch, so I just love this. Catherine wheel stitch is very popular. And for the demonstration, I am going to be using another Deborah Norville collection yarn, which is Serenity Chunky, and it is interchangeable with the glitter yarn. So, and I'm also going to be doing a sample of this scarf because to make this scarf, it tells you to chain 207. So that would take me forever on a video. So I'm just going to do a little cross section of the stitch to show you how it's worked. So this, you do start with 209 for your 207 for your starting chain on the scarf, and it's work from long side across the width of the scarf. So this will be like row 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there's 8 rows total. So in my sample, if you want to practice the stitch with me, I just chained 27. So then the directions say to single crochet in the second chain from hook. So you just do that, and then single crochet in the next chain. And then this color that I'm using here is called, I don't know, I'll think of what the color is. I did the stocking out of this, and my contrasting color is gonna be Pristine. I know that one. So this will come to me what color this is, and we'll list it below too in the video. Okay, so you single crochet in the second chain from hook, and then you single crochet in the next chain. Then you skip 3 chains, so that's 1, 2, and 3, and you work 7 double crochets into this chain. So you can go, I went in the top chain, or you could go in 2 chains or the back bar. It's all whatever your preference is. So now you skip 3 chains again, and then you single crochet in the next 3 chains. 1, 2, and 3. And then you skip 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3, and then you work 7 double crochets in the next chain. So now I have 2 like snowballs, 2 half a snowballs. So that's equivalent to what you see here in the scarf. And I just remembered this name of this color. It's called Berry Burst. It's like one of my favorites. So you skip 3 and then you single crochet in the next 3. And then when you get down to the last 4 chains right here, you skip 3 chains and you work a half shell of 4 double crochets in the last chain. Okay, so before I finish my last double crochet though, I want to change to my contrasting color. So this is what the end of row 1 looks like, and I bring in my contrasting color and then I leave an end, a tail on a slip knot. Let me see. Okay, and a knot. Okay, all I gotta do is leave a tail about this long, make a slip knot, and then I'm going to finish that last double crochet stitch with the new color like this. So you just let this yarn drop and you bring the new color through like that, and you let this end drop and you pick up the new color right here and you chain 1 and turn. And now you single crochet in the first 2 stitches. So you're going to go right in here and right in here. After you complete the second single crochet, you chain 3, and then the directions say to work a 7 double crochet cluster over the next 7 stitches. Then when you go to the special stitches, it says cluster is yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, and draw through 2. So you're going to do that 7 times. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. Yarn over, it's like I'm doing part of a double crochet. I'm going to yarn over, go through here, and that's the first step of a double. That's all I got to do. And then I go in here, so I'm going to do it 7 times. Yarn over, insert, draw through 2. Yarn over. Okay, so what I want to see on my hook is the chain 3 loop, and then I want to see 7 of these. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I need to do 1 more. Like this. No, I didn't yarn over. Yarn over, insert, draw through 2. Okay, just like this. Now I yarn over and I go through all 8 loops just like this, and that creates a cluster stitch. Now I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to single crochet in these center 3 double crochets of this 7 double crochet shell. Then I'm going to chain 3 again. Then I'm going to do the same thing, a cluster stitch over the next 7 stitches. So basically what it is I'm using 2 double crochets from this shell. I'm working in the 3 single crochets, so that gives me 5, and then I'm picking up these 2 here. So all of those stitches right here are included in my cluster stitch. So I have to chain 3, yarn over, insert my hook from front to back in the next double crochet, yarn over, draw through 2. Yarn over, do the same thing. It's like I'm working half of a double crochet stitch. Your hook gets pretty full. Okay, so now before I yarn over and draw through all the loops, I would check and make sure you've got the right amount of stitches on your hook like this. So I've got my chain 3 and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I just yarn over and pull through all those loops on my hook like that. There's a lot of variations of a Catherine wheel stitch, and this is just one of many. Sometimes they have you chain 1 for an eye and then chain 3. But anyway, these directions say to chain 3. So I'm going to do that. So now the next center double crochets, these, see the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to use these 3 to work the single crochets into. So at the end of row 2, it's going to look like this, and you're like filling in the valleys on this row. And when you get to the end, you chain 3, and you work a 4 double crochet cluster over the next 4 stitches. So it's the same as a 7, but you're only working in the 4. So you work a half of a double there, half there, half there, and half there. So then you yarn over. Now you're going to be drawing through 5 loops on your hook. There. That completes row 2. Alright, so now you chain 3 and turn. And you want to work 3 double crochets into the first stitch right here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 doubles, and then you want to work, you skip the chain 3 space and you single crochet in each of the next 3 singles. So now you're filling in the other half of the little snowball. So there you have a complete circle there. Actually, I would go back here and pull this out. I did those stitches right here, and that's actually the chain, one of the chains. And I would chain 3, turn, and then work in the eye of these stitches over here. So I would put the 3 double crochets right here. So see how they're all going to be originating out of the same little eye right there. So now I would skip the chain 3 and work single in each of the next 3 singles. Like that. And now I am going to work 7 double crochets in the closing loop of the cluster from below. So I'm skipping this, and I'm just going to work 7 double crochets in here. Just like that, and then 3 singles. And actually what you see me doing here is the repeat rows, because the repeat rows are rows 2 and 3. So you're either going to be filling in the valleys like this, or you're going to be creating the you know, the other side, the rounded part of it. Okay, so at the end of row 3, it's going to look like this. And you, at the end, you only have 2 single crochets down here, so you skip the last chain 3 and you just single in the last 2 singles like that. Okay. And now, before you finish your last single crochet, you want to change back to your main color. So the color changing is happening all on the same side right here, which is nice. So you don't have to cut this off when you're working your scarf. You just drop it and pick it back up. So you'll drop your contrasting color like this, and then you'll yarn over with the main color. And you'll complete your last single crochet. So you work at the single crochet until you have 2 loops on your hook. Then you yarn over with the new color, which is the main color, and you draw that through those 2 loops, and then you finish the stitch with the new color. And then you just carry on with the new color. So on row, so this is 1, 2, and 3. So row 4, you chain 3, and you turn, and it says to skip the first single crochet and work a 3 double crochet cluster over the next 3 stitches. So you just do the cluster over the next 3 stitches, so they're kind of like half double crochets like I showed you. Just like that. Now I have 3 double crochets to do my cluster with, so I'm going to yarn over and draw through 4 loops on my hook. And then I am going to chain 3, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. I think I just chained 2. Single crochet here. Actually, you're going to be creating different rows than what I told you. It's actually going to be, this row 5 is unique, and then you go back and repeat rows 2 and 3 again. And then you repeat row 4. So this is row 4 that you'll repeat again at row 8. Okay, so then you just chain 3. It's just that the beginnings are a little bit different on the unique rows. Okay, so now I'm going to work a 7 double crochet cluster in the valley. So whenever you have a row where you know you have the valleys, you know that you're going to be working the cluster stitches. And wherever you have a row that's straight across, you know that you're going to be working the little mountains. So, okay, so now I'm going to do 7 half. They're not half double crochets, but halfway I'm going to do like a double crochet stitch, only halfway. So I'm going to do it 7 times. Like this. Okay, so now I'm going to check and make sure I've got my chain 3, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now I'll yarn over all 8 loops on my hook like this, and chain 3, and now I'll work single crochets in the next 3 double crochets like that. See how now it's straightening out because it's filling in all the valleys. So now again I'm going to work another cluster. So I chain 3, and I'm going to pick up the next 7 stitches with my partial double crochet stitches. So if you want a smaller size, you can also use a worsted weight yarn. That would come out nice. Even for the hat, you could also do that. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got to pick up 1 more. Now I'm going to yarn over and draw through all those loops to create my cluster. I'm going to chain 3, and then at the very end I'm going to single crochet in the last stitch and in the turning chain. So there's basically 2 single crochets at the end, just like that. Isn't that cool? Okay, so now I would keep the same color on, and now I just repeat row. Let me see, this is saying, let me show you row 5 now. So now in row 5 I just chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to work a single crochet in each one of the singles like this, and then I'm going to work 7 doubles in the eye of the cluster stitch. There's 4. Okay, then I'm going to skip the chain 3 space and then work singles in the singles. Skip the next chain 3 and work 7 doubles in the next cluster stitch. See, so now I'm going back to making the mountains. I guess you're alternating between mountains and valleys. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip the chain 3, single in the next 3 singles, skip the chain 3s, and at the end it says to, so at the end it says to work 4 double crochets in the top of the turning chain. So my turning chain, if sometimes when you can't figure out your turning chain, just go turn your work around and look for your chain 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and that's my turning chain. So I need to go in that top, that 3rd chain right there, and I'm going to work 4 double crochets. Now my 4th one, I want to stop short of finishing that stitch. I'm going to go until I have 2 loops left on my hook. I'm going to drop my main color, and then I'm going to pick up my contrasting color and yarn over with that, and I'm just going to carry it along the side here, and then I'm going to bring that through and finish the stitch. Now you don't have to carry these colors. You can break off because you're only going to you're not going to have that many ends. So you can just break it off and then sew your ends in so you don't have this strand running across. And I actually would recommend that because there's no finishing across the ends unless you want to just run a little row of single crochet across the bottom. I don't know. So I think if it were me, I would just not even carry my colors, and I would just I would have cut this off and I would have started with a new strand here. But either way, you need to change to the alternate color, to the contrasting color, and then the next rows say to repeat rows 2 and 3 that I showed you, so that's 2 and 3, and then it says to repeat row 4 and then finish off. So that's how you make the scarf, and I want to thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and enjoy your crochet.